This is the Katana 110 bass from Boss. And as you can see, it's a cute little 110 combo bass amp, but what you don't see are the different amp modes, effects, routing options, presets, and even more on top of that make this $400 bass combo pretty stellar. So if you know anything about guitar amps, you've probably heard of the Boss Katana. This came out years ago and it absolutely swept the floor with what is possible with a digital combo amp. All the options, effects, amp models on hand, it is quite impressive. But we never had a bass model until now. And what's really exciting about having the bass version of the Katana finally is that we're able to have those different amp models, effects, and whatnot, but now specifically geared towards bass and all the great sounds that we're able to get from Boss products, but now in a very convenient and affordable package. But before we really dig into the details of the Katana 110 bass, and for the sake of transparency, this video is sponsored by Sweetwater. Now, what I absolutely love about shopping at Sweetwater is, besides of course their incredible customer service, 55-point guitar inspection, free shipping, but of course you get free candy with every single purchase. And y'all, come on now. But of course, as always with sponsored videos on this channel, they have absolutely no input on what I say, what opinions I have, what sounds coming out of this amp, or anything like that. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Now, one thing you should really know before digging into the Katana amp is that you should get the Boss Tone Studio application either for your desktop or mobile, whichever you prefer. That way you can go into the digital side of this amp and adjust every single thing you want to get the sound that you're looking for. Now, starting with the compression knob, you have 7 compressors to choose from and 3 limiters. So it's really cool to be able to choose between all these different kinds. And not only on top of that, of course, using the Boss Tone Studio, you're able to adjust every single setting to your liking. And you're not stuck or committed to using just one. Using the button that's above the knob itself, you're able to go between 3 programmable presets, so you can choose whichever one you like for different reasons. Then going to your drives, you have 13 drive pedals available, 7 of which that are bass specific. And I know what you're saying, this is a bass amp, why would they even offer the other ones? Well, because it's like playing around and experimenting with different pedals. You might find something that technically, yes, it's meant for guitar, but it can sound really good on bass. And of course, above that too is your button to be able to choose between, again, 3 different presets that you choose. Moving over, you have your amplifier section where you can choose between 3 different amp modes: vintage, flat, and modern, which really do have their very distinct characteristics with it, as well as an overall gain and volume knob. And then to add to the variety of tones you're able to get, there's a pad button to let you go down 10 decibels if you have a bass that has really hot pickups, and then the shape button that can change the characteristic of your tone in 3 different ways. Then next to that is the blend section. Boss, I love you guys so much because y'all put an entire section dedicated to the blend knob. I love it. This way you're able to blend your natural tone of your bass into your sound no matter what. And of course, using the Tone Studio, you're able to change the settings however you wish. And then there's a button above the knob for the blend that lets you go between 3 programmable settings for that. Then to the EQ section, you have your bass, low mids, high mids, and treble. And then on top of low mids and high mids, you'll see buttons above them. And this lets you go between different presets to let you choose exactly where your low mids and your high mids sit. And I love this option. Really, you're able to normally just like, oh, I can choose one, but this way you're able to have 3 options for both low and high mids. Then moving over to the effects panel, you have 2 effects banks with 3 programmable presets. Going through everything, you'll notice that you have 24 effects to choose from, 6 delays, and 5 reverbs. I will say though, one really big disappointment to me at least, is that you can only have delay and reverb on the 2nd effects panel. I don't know why, because I'm someone that loves combining reverb and delay together. So if I could have effects 1 with reverb and effects 2 with delay, that would really be optimal, but it just kind of sucks that you're not able to have that option. And finally, moving over to the right from there, at the top you have tone settings. This is where you can go between 6 different programmable presets, and that's for everything in general, and I absolutely love that. So not only can you have 6 different presets for everything, but from there you can have those 3 separate presets for the different effects on top of that too, which is just so awesome. Then you have your master volume control, as well as the option to turn your tweeter on and off. And finally, for your power section, this is where you can have it in standby, where basically it outputs everywhere except for the speakers. Or you can go to 1 watt, where it can be really good for practicing, like bedroom practicing, and of course max for the full range of that speaker. But using the Tone Studio, you'll notice that there's a few little extra features in there, such as the adjustable noise suppressor, the option for 2 different kinds of signal chains, as well as pedal effects. Basically, if you plug in an expression pedal, you can choose between 6 different kinds of wahs, or you can go ahead and just use it for pitch bending, or simply just have it as a volume pedal. Now flipping to the back side, you'll see the rear controls. Going from left to right, you have your balance DI out, where you can have your ground lift options, as well as the different options of what goes through. You have your return and send for your effects loop, your power amp in, then a USB input so you can connect it to your computer, aux in, foot controller options, and finally your headphone/record out. So as you can see, there's a lot of different options on hand and ways to go about approaching this amp with the different effects, amp models, and everything. It's just so cool to me, especially having 6 programmable presets. But there are a few downsides, not major, but just ones where it's like, oh, y'all could have added that, such as a tuner. I think a tuner would have just been a great addition to this amp. Another thing is that this amp is only 60 watts, which is a little disappointing because I would have liked it to have been like at least 100 watts. But that's okay. It's something where if you can DI out, you're good to go. Also on top of that, Bluetooth is only optional if you buy an additional $60 adapter, which is just like, it's a little lame, but at the same time, it's whatever. It's just something that would have been nice if you could have Bluetooth on hand on the amp itself. And finally, I wish that you can simply save more presets in general on the Boss Tone Studio app. You can only have the 6 that are meant for the amp, but I wish there was a separate line where you can essentially add more to it. That way you can just pick and choose which ones you want for different gigs. I think that would have been a really cool option, but that's something that could be fixed with like a firmware update in the future. So overall, with the Boss Katana 110 bass, this amp is awesome. Just being able to plug it in and have it go direct into my interface and it sounds as damn good as it does is so awesome and so fun. Messing around with all the amp types, the effects types, the signal chain options, and everything is so fun, and I absolutely love it. And of course, on top of that too, this combo is only $400, which is incredible. But of course, let me know what you guys think about the Katana 110. To me, it's just really exciting seeing so many effects and features packed into a 40-pound, $400 combo amp. And it's just really exciting to see not only what we can have now, but what the future potentially holds for amps like these. Thank y'all so much for watching, as always, for watching, subscribing, commenting, liking, follow me on social media, all that crazy stuff. I really do appreciate it, guys. And of course, a humongous thank you to my Patreon supporters right here. Mwah. Mwah. If you want to be like one of these gorgeous people right here and help support the channel every single month, think about heading over to my Patreon page. But again, thank y'all so much for watching as always. And of course, no matter where in the world you are, stay safe, practice that bass. It's a little hot outside, so make sure you're drinking water, and I'll see y'all next time.